Hello and welcome to BISP Solutions. Today's webinar is about Fusion Financial implementation, in which we will do the accounts payable transactional process with use cases of BISP Group. So let's move to today's agenda. In day 3, the agenda is PO based invoice creation. Then we will see the payment creation process and creating payment process request. Right, so that is the today's agenda. So let us move to the next slide. As per use case, as per business requirement, the purchase of computer and laptop and printer for the US Miami business unit with 4-way matching concept they want, right? So that is the requirement the business user has put. So how to configure that thing in the application and how the tasks are performed in the application, the transactional way, we will see in that. So let us move to the next slide. In the PO matching concept, you got 2-way matching, 3-way matching and 4-way matching. So if you say a 2-way matching, the 2-way matching means the invoice and purchase order, which the two documents you have to match, in which the criteria is in invoice we match quantity and invoice price versus PO unit price and order quantity. That is the 2-way matching concept, where you match the invoice with the purchase order with the invoice quantity and invoice price with purchase order, unit price and order quantity. That is the 2-way matching. In the 3-way matching, you got invoice, purchase order and the receipt, right? So that is the 3-way matching. The criteria is in invoice we check the quantity and the price, and the purchase order we check unit price and order quantity, and the receipt we check the quantity and the price also. So that is the 3-way matching. That is invoice with purchase order and the receipt of the material, right? So that is the receipt of material when you receive the material. So you, on the basis of receipt, you enter the invoice as per, right? So that is the 3-way matching concept. And in the 4-way matching, you got invoice, purchase order, receipt and the inspection, right? So out here the criteria is, that is invoice quantity, the price and the PO unit, order quantity, receipt quantity and the price and accepted quantity. Out here we got an inspection where you inspect the material, whether the material received in good condition or not. On that basis you enter the invoice and make the payment to the vendor or the supplier, right? So that is the criteria you have. So as per the business use case, they require the computers, laptops and printers for the US Miami business with a 4-way matching concept. So let us move to the next slide also. The flow of P2P in accounts payable. First we will create requisition, right? So we will create a requisition and prepare the purchase order based on the requisition. Then we will prepare the receipt expected shipment through inventory management. Then we will prepare inspection receipt in case of 4-way matching and prepare put away receipt to the sub inventory, the lowest level of the inventory or is sub inventory. Right, so that is the we will do in the application. Then we will enter the invoice based on PO number at the header level and use matching invoice line in the line level. We will now navigate to the application, how the things are performed in P2P cycle. So let us navigate to that. So I am logging with the user credential. Through navigator, we will navigate to the procurement and out here the purchase requisition. We will select that purchase requisition. From more task, enter the requisition line. We will select the item. So we will select desktop as the item. And the price I will put as $250 and the quantity I will say 10 quantities are required, right? So that is the requirement. So you can see the charge account is out here. So if you have any supplier which is to that supplier, either you can name that supplier or you can add to the cart. Preview the same. So you can preview the same, right? If you want to add, so that is the inventory destination and my sub inventory is this BISP_US 01 and to be delivered in BISP office Florida, that is Miami Dade. The request date is today's date, right? So if it is urgent, you can mark as urgent or say no as per requirement. So we will use the simple use case and the requisition number is 2, right? So requisition number is 2. And so if you go to the manage approvals, The system will approve the requisition, right? So that is the enabled we have to. The application development framework will approve the same, right? So that is the auto approval I have done so. Back. And submit the same. You can view the requisition. It is pending for approval. View in PDF. You can view the PDF, the requisition details. So here we are. So you can see the requisition details. The requisition is 2,500 US dollars, worth value of $2,500, and the item name is this BISP 101 group, and the desktop is the description of the material, and the quantity is 10. The each price is $250. It is pending for approval. So go to the manage approval requisition, and out here we will select the Miami, and the requisition number is 2. So you can see requisition 2 is pending for approval. Wait for up to 1 or 2 minutes. It will get approved. And its status will be open, right? So pending for status is pending for approval. It will become open. Status will be open. And we will view the life cycle of the requisition, right? So let us re-navigate. It is still pending for approval. So you can view one approval which I have already created. So it has, you can view the life cycle of that particular approval. The 2 receipts has been created with the quantity with a 10, right? So that is amount has been paid. One of the amount has been paid and one is not paid. So unpaid amount is showing off, right? So that is the unpaid amount. Still taking a time. It will just take a bit of time. So you can see the previous which I have already created, the purchase order. Out here you can see the purchase order we have created, and the order has been delivered, received, right, and invoiced. The status has been closed now. You can view in the PDF also. That is the purchase order. Right, so that is so you can see the status has been approved. Right, so that is desktop has been approved, status has been approved. If you go to the life cycle, right, so requisition, now we will create a purchase order against that requisition, right? So let us do that. The requisition number is 2. Now from the navigator, let's go to the purchase order. So you can see a requisition line is there, right? So let us go to the manage process for requisition. You can select that, or you can view the requisition line and search with requesting view requisition 2, search. So here we are. We will select the same. So we are landing on the purchase order. Select the same and add the document builder. Requisition line, we are creating the add to document builder. Select the same, add to the document builder. So we will add the supplier, who is the supplier of this material. Let's say Dell is the supplier, right? So select the same and say OK, and we will create the PO. So we are creating the PO. The purchase order is BISP 102 USLE, right? So that is the number we are getting. That is BISP 102 USLE, and the supplier is Dell Inc, and the currency is in USD, right? So order value is $2,500. And the material is desktop, right? So let us go to the lines out here. Supply item, I will provide that item as desktop, and each quantity Discount, if there is any discount, you can give the discount out here. I am not giving any discount out here. And out here you have to provide the requested shipment date, right? The requested delivery date or promise date, right? Any of that particular date you have to provide. So I will say I will provide the today's date, right? So shipping method, you can provide the shipping method. I will say DHL, right? So my destination is inventory and my sub inventory, and the method, the matching method is as per use case. It will be a 4-way, right? So that is the 4-way method, matching method they want, right? So the 4-way matching method, the PO charge account, going to the schedules, request date and the promise date. You can provide any of that thing, request, shipment date or promise date. If you have any tolerance days, you can provide that, right? So that is the, and the receipt routing method is we will select as inspection, right? So as soon as we inspection required, then the matching method 4 will be there. If I select a standard receipt method, then it will be a 2-way or 3-way. As earlier we had discussed in the slide, what is 2-way method? In 2-way method, that invoice and purchase order is matched, and 3-way you match with the invoice with the purchase order and the receipt, right? So that is the 3-way matching concept. And the 4-way matching, we match with the invoice, purchase order, receipt and the inspection note, right? So that is the criteria. As per the use case, we will select the inspection required and we will select the 4-way, right? So that is the required as per the case we have discussed. And the distribution combination, go to the distribution. So out here you can see the PO charge account is out here, the PO accrual account and PO variance account, right? So that is the account, and let us submit the same. Go to the manage approvals again. The purchase order number you can see BISP 102. Out here also it will auto approve. I have done the auto approval configuration for that. So let us submit the same. Submit the same. Here we are, the purchase order number has been submitted for approval. This is the purchase order number. Let us review our purchase order. The order number we will put and search it down. It is showing the pending for approval. Wait for a while. It will get approved. So you can see so it is open now. It is approved, right? So it get approved. You can see the status is open. You can view the life cycle, right? So that is the life cycle of this purchase order. We have created an order pending for fulfillment action. So as soon as the material will receive, we will create inbound related transactions. So let us navigate to the inventory management to receive the material. So first we have prepared the requisition. We have prepared the purchase order based on the requisition. Now we will prepare the receive expectations shipment through inventory management, right? So let us navigate to that. So out here, go to inventory. Supply chain execution. That is the supply chain execution. Out here, inventory management. So let me change the inventory org. That is my inventory org. This is my inventory org. Apply the same. So you can see the line awaited. One line receipt is awaited, right? So let us navigate through here. We will select receipt, show task as receipt, receive the expected shipment. Select that and select the purchase order. So let us provide the purchase order and search with that purchase order. So select the same and receive. Right, so you will receive how much quantity you have ordered as per our requirement. We have ordered a 10 quantity, and as per demonstration I will select 10 quantity I have received, right? Out here you will not able to get sub inventory, right? So that sub inventory will not be there. And create the receipt, right? So you can create the receipt. So selecting the details, other details, required details is already filled. I am filling only the required details and submit the same. The receipt 504 is been created with a line 1. So expected shipment, the receipt has been created, 504 is been created, and let us now inspect the receipt, right? So that is the 4-way matching. Now receipt number is 504. Either you can query with the receipt number or the purchase order number. I am querying with the receipt number. Search with that. So here you got the inspection, right? So that is the inspection. Select that same and select the inspection. So you acceptance quantity, you provide the acceptance quantity. You can provide the acceptance quantity as 10, and or you can say action out here and split line. If you want to split line, then say one quantity is damaged, so that I want to split that line, and I will accept the 9 and I will reject the 1. You can do so, but as per use case, we will not reject any of that material, as the material has been received. 10 quantity has been received in a proper condition. So that is the excellent, I am saying, excellent condition, and submit the same. So inspection transition has been created. Now done with that, the inspection has been done. You can query the inspection out here with the receipt number 504. Search with that. Just hold on. So you can see that accepted quantity is this, right? So select that. If you want to have any correction, you can do the correction out here, right? So that is the, so I don't want to do any correction out here. Now the inspection has been done. Now we want to prepare put away receipt to our sub inventory, the lowest level of the inventory. So we will select and put away, right? That will move the material to sub inventory 504. I am selecting the same, query with that. Yeah, so you got that inventory out here, the item, and so you can see the details of sub inventory, right? So inspection required, quantity is excellent, right? So that is the, I will select the same and put away. Now I will get the sub inventory out here. This is my sub inventory, and 10 quantity I will move to my sub inventory, that is BISP underscore US 01. That is the sub inventory, and this is the location. I have provided the delivered location is this, right? So that is the Florida, and submit the same. So material has been received and inspected, and as well as put away has been done to sub inventory. Now we will move to the invoice workbench. In the payables, invoice workbench, on the task panel we will create invoice. Let us create a one invoice, and the PO number BISP. So that is the second one, right? So that is the PO number 102. So you can see the everything is populated, the business unit and the supplier, right? So that is auto populated as per the PO, and I will provide the invoice number, that is I will record the invoice details, say 7050, that is the invoice number, and the amount is 2500, and I will say desktop computer, right? So I will change the payment terms. I can change the payment terms to immediate, so that we can view the next task, that is payment profile, right? So that is the one task we will want to see that. So I am taking we can override the payment terms, right? So by default it's 21030, and you can override as per the requirement. So that is the immediate payment terms I am selecting, and out here in the line, the matching invoice lines, select the same. So select the line, the term has been changed, so 10, right? So we have selected the same. 10 quantity we have received. You can see accepted quantity is 10, ordered quantity is 10, available quantity is 10, right? So we will select that and apply OK. And say OK. If you go to the distribution, so you can see the distribution line also, right? So that is the distribution line, and save and close. Now we will save the invoice. You can see the approval is required and we had not validated, right? So let us validate the same. So I will post approve the approval. So you can see the manual approved is done, right? So this is the way you can record the invoice with a purchase order, right? So that is how we will do in the application. So if I navigate to the purchase order, we had not made the payment of that, right? So let us navigate to manage orders, and our requisition number or order number, you can search with that, requisition number 2, search with that. Why it is not showing? Dell INC, I'm searching with that. Ideally it should show. Why it is not showing out? Manage order, it should show basically. Here we are. So you can see the view details. So if you go to the order life cycle, the order has been executed, received, delivered and invoiced, right? So if you go to the details, view details, so you can see this, right? So invoice details, so you can see that validated, right? So invoice detail is being mentioned out here, and you can see the paid amount is still unpaid, right? So you out here you can see the whether it has been paid or not. You can check it down with that. So the receipt is any return is there, invoiced, open into the invoice, it is received and delivered. Now the invoice has been received, the payment has not been made, and match the amount with that, right? So that is the life cycle of that particular PO. We had not made the payments. So let us now we will move to the payment. The next topic which in the webinar is payments, payment creation process and create payment process request, right? So we will see how to create the payments. Now navigate to the payables in the payments workbench. Let us move to the payments workbench. Out here we will select, you can create the template. So if I go to the manage template and name with the BOA, search with that. I have already created a one template, that is BOA electronic process US BISP pay group. I've used that US BISP pay group. That is a lookup group we have created. So using that lookup group and the my criteria I already provided, that is payment process, the basis will be payday, and the earlier payment I am selecting yes, and the specification I am using the BISP pay group. I can select the BISP pay group. If I group that particular group, using that group I can make the payment, and the method I am using as electronic, right? So that is different criteria I have provided, and the specific legal entity I have selected, that is BISP solution, right? So that is only that is specified in that, or I can use the business unit also, and source also, various source as per source. That source you can use. If I select the source, if I get add and the source, that is different sources, I can use that, right? So that is the source. I don't want to use the source. I select the all, and in the payment and process option I selected my disbursing bank, right? So that bank has been configured, and the payment process profile, right? So that payment process profile I have configured, I am using this, and the payment conversion. If I any foreign currency related transaction is there, then it will ask for conversion rate conversion, that is I am using the corporate rate, and corporate rate type. Out there you should update your rate, conversion rate, right? So cross currency rate type I am selecting the same as corporate. And out here the processing options, I am selecting the review proposed payment. Enable that. Review the installment. If there is any installment, it will review. Stop for review for that, and then it will create a file, payment file immediately, right? So that is the criteria I am selecting, and save and close. Okay, and now we will create, that is the template, manage payment process template. Now let create a payment request. Let give the name as T23 D1, right? T23 D1, that is the request name I am giving, and I will select the template as my template as BOA template, right? Selecting that same, and out here it get auto populated, and I am selecting the other things are okay, selecting the criteria. Let's submit the same. The name is T23 D1, right? So that is the underscore D1. I am submitting the same. Let us review manage payment request. The name is search with that. Pending for installment selection, right? So let us here we are, T23 D1 pending for installment selection. Action 7 invoices has been selected. So you can see there is the one invoice which we have right now entered, right? So that is Dell 7050, which is we have changed to immediate payment terms, right? So 21030 we have changed to the immediate one. So see, all the things is okay. If you want to add installment, you can add the installment. So earlier payments, you can go to the earlier payments also. You can add the details, more details you can add. If you go to the add installments, I don't want to add any installments right now. I'm okay with that. So if you see, the payment currency in USD are 6 and 1 in GBP, right? So that is 1 in GBP, and submitting the same. I'm okay with that. Let's review the same. It's building up. Just hold on. Here we are. If I go to manage payment process request, T search with that. So pending proposed review. So these are the invoices, right? So that is invoices. If I want to cancel this one, I can do so. I just remove that particular GBP, remove this. So I can remove that, and everything is okay now. And let us make the payment of that. One payment has been removed. It is showing one payment has been removed, GBP, right? So the bank account is not showing off. That's why I have removed that, and resume the payment process. Now let us review again the process. Right, so waiting for payment process. 1 rejected, 6 we have done so. If we go now out here, we can review our process. Sending the remittance, yes. If we go and see, again review the same. The process. Let us provide the number and search with that. Here we are. It has been, stage has been completed. And you can view the file confirmation format. So you can see the process has been completed. The payment has been made. The payment amount is 269 for this pay, that is this computer advanced system proprietor Martin and Dell Inc, right? So that is the payment reference has been generated, the to preference and the payment view. You can view the payment details. Here we are. The invoices number are there. The payment details you can drill through and check the details, right? So, and this is related to this computer advanced system proprietor Martin and one Dell Inc. So document. So these are the invoices which we have made the payment, right? So we are done with that. Right, so this is the way you can process the payment, and we have made the payment successfully, right? So let us now navigate to that particular PO, and we will see how the things will show when the payment has been done. So let us navigate to that PO. Manage orders. Search with that. Why it is not showing off? It should show. If I go to the purchase requisition, so through the requisition, here we are, order. So if I go to the details of that particular order, right? So you can view the details, right? So that is how the things, and status has been closed, right? So status has been closed and we have made the payment, right? So that is done. So you can see this life cycle. So invoice, total invoice has been, and it has been paid. Unpaid amount, nothing is unpaid amount. Match to the orders is this. If you drill down to the invoice also. So you can see the invoice detail in invoice workbench, right? So that is how the things are performed in the application. So thanks, that's it for today. Thanks for joining the webinar on AP related transaction in Fusion application. Thank you.